Okay, so in the previous lesson, I've shown you how to set up the system. So now the question is, how do you actually make use of it to receive confirmations and help you out in your analyzing? So let's get straight into that. When you view a chart, the first thing we have to recognize is whether we are in an uptrend or in a downtrend. So for this specific example over here, we're actually in an uptrend until we reach a resistance level of around 9,150, which the system has set up for us. So this is what the system has set up for us over there. So we are in an uptrend until we reach this level over here. So we also see a second leg of the M formation that is forming over here that has been confirmed with a dark cloud candlestick. So remember, there is the dark cloud candlestick over here is showing us that the market had the pullback that was happening over here. So remember I said these candlestick patterns that are forming, they're actually color coded. So the red shows that the market is going down, in other words is bearish, and then the green ones shows that the market is about to go up, is bullish. So the candlestick is actually showing us whether it's going up or it's going down. So that is what we need to see over there. And we also need to take note of these arrows over there that shows us exactly where the candlesticks are actually formed, because we don't want to see a candlestick over here that is written over here but it has formed some maybe over here already. That signal will already have expired, right? So we don't want to make use of candlestick patterns that have already expired. We want to use the ones that are current at the moment. So take note of that small arrow that will be showing you exactly where the candlestick pattern has occurred. So in this case, we missed the pullback, so we have to wait for another setup. Remember to always avoid late entries. So it's very key that you see where the candlestick patterns is actually formed to avoid late entries at all costs. So there will always be other setups. So since we are on an uptrend, what does this tell us? This tells us that we must prepare ourselves for buy setups only. So basically, remember we said we trade with the trend, not against the trend. So we are looking for buying opportunities in this market since the trend is actually uptrend, right? So right now price has been rejected and respected the system support at 8,986 over here. So around here, that is where we are saying over there. So it has respected that area over there. So remember we said our support and resistance are actually zones. So this zone over here, it has been respected. As you can see, we have respected that zone. So around there, that's the price of around 8,986 that the market was trading at that point, right? So in this case, our second leg is actually higher than the price of the first leg, so which makes it a perfect W formation. Remember our three different types of M formations and W formations. This makes it a perfect W formation. And then on top of that, we also have our pin bar as a confirmation over here. So as you can see, we actually had a pin bar candlestick signal over here, which signals this pin bar over here that it just formed over there. So making it is the pin bar is another confirmation. So the system also shows us the morning star at the first leg over here, which is for the first leg. So remember, the morning star shows the bullish market as well as the so here we actually have triple confirmations. We have the W formation, which is perfect because we actually have the second leg higher than the first leg, and on top of that, our first leg showed a morning star, which shows a bullish market, and then now we are getting a bullish pin bar, which shows that the market is going up. So there's a lot of confirmations in this instance over here. So system also shows us a morning star at the first leg and a hammer at the second leg, indicating that the price is about to change. So all confirmations we have indicates a strong buy signal in this case. And remember, the more confirmations we have, the stronger the signal will be. So let's see, after this confirmation that we had, let's see what actually transpired, what happened to the market. Okay, so now let's take a look at what actually happened after we saw those confirmations. So as you see now, this is what played out. So the market continued going up, and it went towards our resistance level that the market had set up for us. So remember, we caught this trade when it was somewhere around here, meaning that we actually had a good entry over here after the second leg had been confirmed, and we were able to capture this whole trade over here. So this was a powerful trade. So looking at the aftermath, we basically can see that the setup played off very well. Price just did a small pullback a little from the resistance of the W, but the system indicates that the signal is still valid and gives us a bull cross as a confirmation. So we are getting more confirmations that the bullish market is still in control at this, and look at how this plays out beautifully. I mean, and take a note that you can't just take signals based on the system alone. They are only for confirmation. So stick to the strategy that you have learned out through the course. That is the strategy that we are using to trade the markets. Just use the systems for extra confirmation. So look at your M and Ws, bullish and bearish flags, and all the methods that we are using, and then use the system for extra confirmation. So as you can see, this is our confirmations showing us that we are actually right. We spotted our W formation over here, and we are getting the signals to say that we are actually correct, right? Because the market is moving in the bullish market, as you can see right here, clearly it's stated on the market, on the charts. So remember, you can't just see a signal from the system and then enter it with no extra confirmations. This is very, very wrong. We are just using this for confirmations to your strategy that you have learned throughout this course, right? So stick to the strategy, use this for confirmations. So looking at our another example over here, we can see that when you open this chart, the first thing that we see is that we are actually on an uptrend. So on an uptrend, we're looking for buying opportunities, and if it was in a downtrend, we'll be looking for selling opportunities. But in this case, as we said, we are actually on an uptrend. We are looking for buying opportunities. So in this example, we will look for those buying opportunities, and already at this level, the right here indicated by this gold line, we can see that is around 9,270. We actually have our support level. So this is our support level over here, which is already our first confirmations for a buy setup, right? But remember, we don't trade just based on one confirmation. We need at least 2 or 3 confirmations for us to go in on a trade. Remember, the more confirmations that we have, the more powerful that trade will be. So price didn't come back to retest that support, so that for a rejection or something like that, it just closed above the support line, right? So as you can see, it closed above the support line. So the second confirmation is that we have the second leg of our W forming over here. So our second leg of our W is forming over there. The third confirmation is that the system gave us a bullish piercing candlestick. So we have a bullish piercing candlestick that you can see over here, and it's showing where it actually formed. So it formed over here on our first leg of the W formation that is forming our second leg right now, right? So we are seeing our second leg of the W forming right now, but let's just take a look at actually what happened after this. So price is surely a bit of a mess in this case, in this example, but as you can see, the more confirmations, the better. As you can see, this one actually played out very well. It was the more confirmation, we're getting more and more confirmations of the bullish signal, and so it played out very well, even though the price was a bit of a mess over there. So let's check another example. So remember, these indicators actually don't work on a mobile phone, right? They're just for PC. So we just want to take a look at another example right here, where we are using the same confirmations that we're using that we're seeing on the system, but here we are spotting it ourselves, right? Using everything that you have learned in the course. So looking at this right now, at this chart, we can see that we are on an uptrend, right? So spotting the bullish flag and higher highs, higher lows, right? So as you can see, higher highs, higher lows shows us that the market is in an uptrend, right? And we also see that we have our bullish flag that has been formed, right? And we've plotted it on the chart, right? So around the price of 7,596, we actually see that we have a resistance level, right? So the price actually breaks through this resistance, as you can see in the preceding pictures over there in the screenshots that we just took of the market going further. So the trend line is based on the H4 time frame, but as you can see, even here on the 1 hour time frame, actually being respected as well. So on the 15-minute chart of this market condition that we have right now, we actually have a W formation. So that is our first confirmation for our entry on a smaller time frame. So remember, we make use of the top-down analysis. We analyze in different time frame to see for those good entry confirmation. So on the 15-minute time frame of this chart right here, we actually have a W formation, which is our first confirmation for entry on the smaller time frame. So price respected the trend line on the H1. As you can see right here, this is actually the H1, and the price respected the trend line on the H1 and the H1, which is the time frame that we use to execute in this example, right? So price breaks through the resistance at 7,596 and turns it into a support. So resistance turns into support, support turns into resistance. I'm pretty sure you remember from the other module the lessons that we went through about that. The candlestick then closed above the support, making our bullish flag more visible. So in this example, we didn't use the system for confirmations, only what's been taught in this course. So remember, everything that has been taught in this course, we put it together and we have our confirmation. So right now in the next lesson, we're actually going to take a look at even more examples to show you what actually transpired when we put this confirmation together. So let's jump straight into our next lesson.